talk about some of the controls in XAML. We have an XAML window here. Doesn't have much going on. We split up into a grid, and that way we can put all our controls in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some controls to this grid. And I'm going to start off with some of the most basic XAML controls. I'm going to create a button. Just give it some content. Let's say click me. That's a great name for a button. And then I'm going to go ahead and close it, and I now have a button. Now let's create a text block. A text block is really just kind of think of it like a set of text or a span in HTML. It's usually what I give people an example of. It's very lightweight and it's perfect for showing text on your application. So I'm going to click the button in my text block. Notice that these items overlap each other. So I can go in here and I can go to my properties for this text block and layout. And I'm just going to add some margin to the top of it, just so I can show it on its own line. Let's see if 50 will work. There we go. Next, I'm going to introduce the text box control. The text box control is pretty self-apparent. It's equivalent to the input text in HTML, and you can give it a text value or you can not give it a text value, have someone type in a text value, but it's really just somewhere to enter text. Now, this text box is shown up, but it's probably hard to see because it doesn't have anything in it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this margin to the text box. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to give it a width so we can all see it. So I'm going to say it's about 100 pixels wide. And we now have a text box. And you can provide it some starter text. Example, it's a good one. And you can also provide watermarks and other properties for the text box. Next, I'm going to add a list box. A list box is a very simple, one of the most common list controls, and there are other list controls, but this is a really good one just for examples. And you can add to it list box items. So I'm going to add A, maybe list box item B, and we have a list box. I'm going to add some margin to that too. And I'm just incrementing the margins by 50 so I have enough space for everything. And so this is some of the most basic, most commonly used controls, especially with forms. There's two other controls that you'll see commonly used. They don't have text values like text block and text. And that's checkbox and radio button. The checkbox is pretty self-apparent.